Alright, legends, welcome along to Hellmouth Hotline. I am your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting into the final review for the Paranormal Activity movies with Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. And I have to say, I am so happy to finally get to the end of this series. I have a fairly big love for the first two or three movies. I thought they were great and what they were trying to do. But after the third one, it was just kind of downhill for me a little bit after the third. So with this one here, I was hoping this was going to be amazing. A little bit of a different take on it. You still have that kind of found footage sort of thing in there, but it's more of a produced Hollywood movie, this one. It's not all found footage. So yeah, essentially this girl and her cameraman friend want to make a documentary about her past. Her mother, Sarah, abandoned her outside a hospital, and she wonders what drove Sarah to make such a decision. The girl's name is Margot. Through a genetics site, she and her friend Chris, the cameraman, meet her blood relative Samuel, who is Amish, and he's currently gone through his Rumspringa. I'm probably saying that word completely wrong, but yeah, this is more or less, before he settles down into the traditions of the Amish community, he can go out, test out the real world, so to speak, make a decision then. So that's what it is. The team there then joined by a guy called Dale. He's the documentary sound man, and this guy Samuel leads them to Beeler Farm, where Margot's mother, came from. Jacob, the patriarch of the commune and Sarah's father and Margot's grandfather, welcomes the team and puts them up with lodgings. He's not overly excited at the very beginning that they're even there, but eventually lets them stay for a bit. Strange things start to occur. Margot finds a little girl brushing her doll's hair in a barn. The doll's named Sarah, and the girl cryptically says that Sarah is still there. Margot later hears sounds from her mother's old room and sees a spirit up there. So I'm just going through some of the notes that I've got online. I originally sat down and watched this movie probably at this point about 3 months back to do this review and never got around to doing it. So we're here now, and I'm not sitting to watch this movie again. I'm just gonna play it lazy tonight and just look up the key points of the movie essentially, and just have a little chat about how I felt about it while I was watching it. And to be fair, this movie here, it's not the worst of the series in my humble opinion, but yeah, just I think the movies had just run their course, and people were just they wanted something else really at the end of the day, I think. So yeah, back to the movie. The group interviews Jacob, the guy that's the patriarch of the commune, and he tells them about the free-spirited Sarah who defied their practices by sleeping with a boy and getting pregnant. Instead of being forced to give up, Margot instead, fuck, these notes is all over the place. Excuse me for swearing. I do indeed apologise. Instead of forcing Margot to give up to an adoptive family, Sarah instead left her at a hospital before disappearing and is now presumed dead. Margot's team finds a church that Jacob prevents him from entering. That night, the team follow a group of the residents to the barn, and covertly observe a strange ritual in which a newborn two-headed goat is sacrificed. The visuals in this movie, I have to say, very, very good. So now they just want to find out what's going on here. Like obviously there's something been hidden here. They're not been told everything. So they're determined to find out what's going on. Margot and Chris break into the church that they were told they could not go into, and they discover paintings depicting the demonic figure as Marius. That's probably messed that name up too. And there's a deep pit hidden in the middle of this church. Margot sneaks into Jacob's room the next day, where she finds a hidden laptop and discovers that he and Samuel had already known about her being Sarah's daughter, and had basically set up her arrival. Margot then gets attacked that night by a force, which is very well done in the movie, I have to say. And the next day, Chris and Dale find her catatonic with sheets soaked with blood. And for me, that more could have came from that sequence, I think. Whatever happened to her in that attack, I was expecting a little bit more to come for it, but I think it was just a bit of a loose end in the movie for me. Now, having said that, I've only watched it once, and for me, the movie isn't bad, isn't great, but it did fail the social media test. And for me, that's the big thing of a movie or TV show, whatever I'm sitting down to watch. If that can keep me away from the iPhone and I'm not scrolling on social media and checking my updates and stuff, that's a damn good movie. This is where this one failed. I did drift out once or twice, and started talking a bit of nonsense on Facebook. So Chris and Dale hitch a ride into town to buy a replacement battery for their car, and they're informed by a mailman that the people at the farm are not Amish. And after researching on the internet, they learned that according to myth, the Norwegian village of Bisgater, probably destroyed that name as well, suffered a massacre believed to be caused by this demon Asmodeus. I hope that's the way it's said. They managed to trap the demon inside the body of a woman, and the demon continues to be passed from mother to daughter in the bloodline to keep it from getting out. Margot is the next in line for this to happen, which is why Sarah sent her away and why she's been brought back to the settlement. So they discover her mother was trying to save her from a fate worse than death, essentially, by being the vessel to trap this demon inside. So when Chris and Dale return to the commune, Margot has disappeared. While Dale installs a new car battery so that they can escape, Chris enters the church to search for Margot, and after entering and killing Jacob in there, Chris rescues Margot from the bottom of the pit. Now, that whole sequence there, very, very good. This pit goes down, say, 20 metres or something like that, and that's just about big enough for you to kind of, like, you'll go down on a rope, but you can comfortably kind of turn on it. But on the walls and all sides of it, they're covered in crosses, crucifixes, whatever you want to call them. And this is to keep this demon down in this pit that's trapped inside the body of a female from the clan. And yeah, very, very good. Like you can see they spent a good bit of money on this movie as well. But having said that, I have been having a lot of trouble figuring out what the budget for this thing was. I was looking about, and there's not much that I can find as far as budget wise goes. We'll get to that whenever we finish off the actual plot of the movie here. So yeah. Chris, enters a church going after Margot, encounters and kills Jacob. He then rescues Margot from the bottom of the pit, and they are pursued by like a skeletal creature, is all you could say. Like, it's obviously human, but kind of deformed as well. The creature kills Dale and pursues Margot and Chris into the barn. Margot, realising that the creature is indeed Sarah, her mother, possessed by the demon, calls her by her name, which confuses her. Taking advantage of her mother's weakened state, Margot sends Sarah falling to her death onto a spiked piece of farm machinery. Now, that there was given away far too quick in the movie. There's a part fairly close to the beginning, whenever they first get to the commune, and they're getting a little bit of a tour around the place, and they go up to the top of the barn and to like an attic space sort of a thing, and she almost falls into that machine at the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but fairly close to the beginning of the movie. And as soon as I seen that there, I was just like, you know what, that's going to come back in the movie. And they do. They bring it back. They kill the possessed mother, essentially. Following Sarah's death, Asmodeus is unleashed upon the farm. So, the thing is, they have to transfer this demon from body to body of the woman and the clan, and because Sarah was the last one to be possessed by it, and it didn't get into her daughter Margot, it manages to escape. It causes chaos as the residents turn on one another, drives them all insane. They start to fight and kill everybody. You know, it's a flipping bloodbath. They're killing each other, livestock, the whole works. The home goes up in flames. Margot and Chris escape in their car, and sometime later, 2 police officers arrive on the scene, discover the aftermath of the massacre, and find a demonically possessed Samuel, kind of doing like a baby's cry. Samuel compares the officers to take their own lives before he gets into the car and drives away. So this demon has taken him, and the real power of this thing is to turn people on each other, and off it goes. So it was a fairly decent movie. You know, for me, the Paranormal Activity movies was a lot more effective whenever you didn't see or be told what was going on, or what was the spirit or the demon, whatever you want to call them. It was just the activity. The activity and Paranormal Activity was brilliant about the first 3 movies, where things were happening. You didn't really get a straight answer most of the time, but as soon as the movie started going to the point where the evil became flesh, let's just say, for me, that's where it kind of just wasn't as scary anymore, because like, you're seeing a person in place of whatever this is spirit is supposed to be, if you get my meaning, if that makes any sense to you. But it was just like one of the prior movies, whenever the spirit took form, and you seen the bare legs of him walking away with one of the kids. It was just like, no, you should have kept it back to that sort of original style sort of thing. But having said that, you do need to move the story along as well. But, you know, for me, just the later movies just didn't have the oomph factor that I liked of the first few. So, let's get into some of the production notes I came across here. June 19th, 2019, Paramount Pictures announced the 7th installment in the series was in development, with Jason Blum and franchise creator Aaron Pelly. In February 2020, Blum revealed that Christopher Landon was writing the script, and February 12th, 2021, it was announced that William Eubank was attached to direct the film. The film also confirmed to be a reboot rather than a continuation of the previous films. February 24th, the film was announced to be in production, with the In Between and the untitled Pet Cemetery film for Paramount Plus. In March, Emily Batter, Roland Buck III, Dan Lippert, and Henry Aries Brown were cast in undisclosed roles. Principal photography concluded in July. In September, the film's title was officially revealed to be Paranormal Activity: The Next of Kin. Release time: the Paranormal Activity was released in Paramount Plus October 29th, 2021. The film was originally set for theatrical release on March 19th, 2021, but was delayed to March 4th, 2022 due to the C-19 thing, just the pandemic thing. It just shut everything down for an insane amount of time. Instead of a theatrical release, the film was released exclusively on Paramount Plus. Viacom CBS CEO Robert Backish said the film would premiere before the end of 2021. The film's release was officially moved up to October 29th, 2021. So, critical response, what are we getting for this here? Like, review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes. On the review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, 32% of 47 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 4.8 out of 10. The website's consensus reads Paranormal Activity. Wait, am I having trouble saying the word paranormal? The website consensus reads Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin gives the long-running found footage franchise a new level of visual polish. Unfortunately, effective scares are few and far between. That's very, very true. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 37 out of 100 based on reviews of 13 critics, indicating generally unfavourable reviews. So, I can agree with that. As far as budget and that goes, I'm seeing different things here and there, but the first thing that popped up to me, and this has to be not right, is the amount of money that it made. Oh God, where did I see that at? Gosh, it was right here in the notes, and it was just like, I can't find it now. Where are we at? Okay. Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin was released in the United States in Paramount Plus on October 29th, 2021. The film received generally negative reviews from critics and grossed $81,566 in home sales. That doesn't sound right. That number just does not sound right. 596. That can't be right. Because if that is right, that's an absolute flipping disaster. But I am just, as we're recording this, I'm going to see if I can find anything that'll give me proper numbers here. So please forgive me. This is not the sort of thing you want to be hearing on your audio podcast as someone Googling shit. But yes, that's just me. I'm the tail end of Gen X. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I've got all the facts and figures, because I really don't. So there's still not a lot here as far as it goes. The only thing I'm seeing, the comprehensive budget figures weren't widely publicised. You see, that's the thing with something been released to streaming instead of going to the cinema. It's very hard to keep track of the figures of it. Estimates for reshoots, though, and changes were over $200,000. So let me see. Production style: it was a reboot of the franchise designed for streaming rather than wide theatrical release, likely keeping production costs lower than the previous theatrical installments, The Ghost Dimension, which had a $10 million budget. franchise context here. The franchise is renowned for extreme profitability, having earned $890.4 million on a combined budget for all the movies of 28.5 million. So, if that, what I seen earlier in the what did I say, 81,000, and that's something doesn't sound right there for me. But it is what it is. It was the last in the series, to my knowledge anyway. I don't know. I'll have to take a little check. I don't know if they decided to do anything after it or not. But whenever I started doing the series here on the Paranormal Activities, this was the last one at that point. But I highly doubt they went any further with it. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a chat about Paranormal Activity and the absolute joy I'm feeling right now that I'm finished with them. Again, after the first three movies, my heart was just broken. That was just kind of felt like I was beat to death at a point. So that is what it is. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. I'm not going to hang about too long tonight. I have to get up stupidly early in the morning to do a shift at work. No, it's only 4 hours, but money isn't going to make itself. So I have to get my ass up at like 4 a.m. And right now we're heading for 10 p.m. or thereabouts. So numbnuts isn't going to get a big load of sleep tonight. Right, because I still have to edit this, get it uploaded before I can lie down. Guys, stay safe, look after yourselves, and do all that good social media stuff, rate and review the episode, share it along to anybody that might be interested in this sort of nonsense. And yes, I will see you all real soon. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.